Jamaica's National
Heroes.
by Alexandra
Jalissa.
and Francesca. Nanny of the Maroons. Nanny was born in the tribe of Shanty or Ghana in 1688. Nanny was sold and sent to Jamaica like many other Maroons. Nanny and her brothers ran away from where they were sent and traveled to the Blue Mountains. In 1720, Nanny settled in the Blue Mountains area, and now that area is named Nanny Town. Nanny was a very successful woman in freeing slaves. In a period of 30 years, Nanny accomplished freeing more than 1,000 slaves. Nanny died in 1733 in Jamaica. Norman Washington Manley. Norman Washington Manley was born in Roxburgh, Manchester on July 4, 1893. Norman had two sisters and one brother, which died in World War I. Norman's father died when Norman was only at the age of 6. In September 1938, Norman was the founder of the PNP Party. Norman also became a chief minister in 1955. After Norman came from serving in World War I, he came back to Jamaica and received a military medal. On March 1, 1900, Norman married his cousin Edna Manley and had two kids, Douglas Manley and Michael Manley. Norman died at the age of 76 on September 2, 1969, and shortly after his death, he became a national hero of Jamaica. Paul Bogle. Paul Bogle was born in 1822. Paul was a deacon for a Baptist church. On October 11, 1865, Paul led a protest to Moreton Bay, but troops were sent to put down the rebellion and burn all the houses and kill all of Paul's people. Paul was then captured and brought to Moreton Bay for a trial. On October 24, 1865, Paul was found guilty and was hanged at the courthouse along with 438 other people to die with.
Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was one out of 11 kids in St. Anne's, August 18, 1887, descendant of the Maroons. He moved from St. Anne's Bay to Kingston, where he worked at Government Painting Office. In 1910, he resigned the job after publishing a small paper called The Watchman. In 1940, he started a Negro job called United Negro Environment Association, other known as UNIA. The UNIA encouraged their government for Black people worldwide. In 1906, Marcus Garvey went to America to preach for Black people's freedom. He visited 38 countries in one whole year, and soon the YNA cross was everywhere. Samuel Sharpe. Samuel Sharpe was born on 1801 Montego Bay. He was also raised as a slave when he was a kid. Unlike many slaves, his master educated Samuel very well, and his master named him Samuel Sharpe. Also treated Samuel nicely and allowed him certain privileges. Samuel had certain responsibilities, like putting slaves into their different jobs to work. He carried out his duties, but he was also included. At the same time, he wanted to be free. Sam was the main introductor in Kensington Estate in St. James. He was also extinct in the Montego Bay Marketplace, May 23, 1832. After his death, slavery was abolished in Jamaica. He was buried in Sands Montego Bay Harbor. His remains were later enhanced, and he was buried with Beworth the Poet at the Baptist Church.
George William Gordon. George William Gordon was born to a slave mother and a planter father. George was self-educated in South St. Thomas, Jamaica. He loved politics. He encouraged so many slaves to protest for their rights, and he made sure that black people over Jamaica got paid right. He was arrested in 1865 for a famous rebellion called Morant Bay Rebellion. Sir Alexander Bustamante. Sir Alexander Bustamante was born on February 24th, 1844 in Hanover. He is a memorable hero for what he did. He did, and many amazing things that will be remembered for hundreds of years. Sir Alexander Bustamante started his work for Jamaica by protecting the rights of workers. Back then, working conditions were poor in the 1920s and 30s. Sir Alexander Bustamante improved the levels of working conditions and also begun the party PMP with his cousin, another national hero, Norman Washington Manley. Although Bustamante changed his way and begun a new party, JLP, Jamaican Labour Party, Sir Alexander Bustamante was the first Prime Minister of Jamaica. He wanted the social and economic problems to end. Jamaica's national
Heroes: Jalissa, Samuel Sharpe, and Marcus Garvey.
Francesca, Nanny of the Maroons, Paul Bogle, and Norman Washington Manley. Alexandra, Sir Alexander Bustamante, and George William Gordon.